My relationship with Mr. Coulon began in August of 1983 when I became a student of Archbishop Shaw High School. He was the assistant principal of academics, and that's when I really started to know him. Mr. Coulon was extremely competent and extremely effective, an honest, hard-working administrator who was extremely strict, and he cared deeply about both the institution and the student body, and that's what made him so effective. And he was the assistant principal of academics, and academics is basically what the school is here for in the first place. Coulon in general was not known for his sense of humor, and he had a very good sense of humor. And I was one of the students who were fortunate enough to get to know him. And I enjoyed and I understood his sense of humor. The nature of his position, unfortunately, did not allow the majority of the students to really get to know him. And I benefited from, I've known Mr. Coulon for many years, and in the last several years as a good friend. We get together on a regular basis and we talk about religion and politics, two issues that scare a lot of people. Well, it doesn't scare Mr. Coulon and me. Mr. Coulon belongs in the Hall of Fame because of his many years of outstanding and hard work and effectiveness here at Archbishop Shaw. Mr. Coulon, for myself, on behalf of the class of 1987 and the thousands of students that you have affected over many, many years, I am happy to congratulate you for being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
See, my relationship with Dennis Coulon here at Shaw began in 1969 when I was a freshman. And Mr. Coulon was my civics teacher. And he was a great civics teacher, no question about it. I credit him in that civics class in 1969 and 70 a lot for what got me interested in law. Dennis Coulon knew everything there was to know about the Constitution, the setup of the government. He knew a lot of history. That's how it started, was in that civics class. Mr. Coulon had a giant impact on Shaw over the course of a 30-year career. I might be off a year or two on his career, but he was here at Shaw early on in its history. And then over time, he became an institution, really. I mean, he worked his way up, if I recall correctly, to some kind of high-ranking position in the administration. Frankly, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think he was assistant principal in charge of academic affairs for a long time. And he was an institution, really. I still see Mr. Coulon. I can't stop calling him Mr. Coulon. He keeps asking me to call him Dennis. It's really amazing to think back. I graduated from Shaw, I was 17. I thought Coulon was like an old man. He couldn't have been more than 27, or when I knew him. And yet he was guiding me the whole way. And so now there can't be much more than a 10-year difference in our age. I can't stop calling him Mr. Coulon. He wants me to call him Dennis. I can't do it. I still see him from time to time for lunch or coffee or socially. And, it's amazing. Whenever we're out having lunch, it might just be the two of us. People walk up to him. They're Shaw guys from the 80s and the 90s. I mean, from all kinds of, Shaw generations. So it's clear to me just from those little interactions and snippets that, he was an institution here at Shaw. I mean, you can't be somewhere for 30 years and not make an impact. And he certainly made an impact that continues through today. The memory of Mr. Coulon that stands out the most is one that my brothers, who I went to show with in the 70s, who I still see, they bring it up all the time, and it might embarrass Coulon a little bit, but, when we were kids at Shaw, now Coulon's principal job was guidance counselor. Well, Coulon was the one who delivered the tough love, okay? I don't know if you know Coulon, his general demeanor is not exactly warm and fuzzy all the time. It's more intellectual and businesslike. Look, he's a loving guy, but if you were having an issue, what you got from Coulon was tough love, all right? He told you the way it was and how to fix it. And so whenever I'm together with my Shaw guys and, when we're socializing or something, that's the thing that people say about Coulon, was kind of had this issue, and I went to see Coulon, man, he told me how it was, and he, how to straighten it out. And there was, you straightened it out with Coulon. So that's my principal memory of Coulon. The other memory is, and this is going to probably embarrass him too, was just the acute intellect, the vast knowledge that he had of all things, governmental, political, historical. I mean, the guy was and still is, when I talk to him now, just a font of information of all sorts. Well, I really want to congratulate Dennis Coulon on his induction into the Hall of Fame. It's something that I've wanted to see for a long time. And I think, this is just my opinion, that this means the world to Mr. Coulon. He was here for 3 decades. He was an institution. And this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is exactly what something like the Hall of Fame is meant to do, which is to tell somebody who is important to us and our institution what we feel, how much we respect, and how much we love him. And that's my congratulations to Mr. Coulon. This is well-deserved, and it's even more well-deserved because I think I know how much this means to him.